Welcome to my channel. My name is Marcus and this is Rise Above. On this channel we talk about things that help us get to the next level, and today's topic is how to face fear and win. So I think the first thing when it comes to talking about fear or facing fear or even dealing with fear is acceptance. It's very important to accept the situation that is given to you, that is presented to you, and that life hands to you. And one thing that I struggle with in general is knowing that the feelings that I have are valid. The frustration, the anger, the resentment, the regret. It's important to be able to feel that. I think it's very important to understand why you're feeling what you're feeling and help that be the fuel to help you. Acceptance is key. Feel it fully. Really understand that this is part of the process. And I know that sounds very cliche and everybody says that, but you can only heal once you actually treat your wound, and accepting that you have a wound in the first place is the first stage in your healing. One thing that is hard for me to do is accept that I am not my setback. I am not a failure. And just because I have a setback doesn't mean I am a setback or I am a failure. This setback is temporary. I think life is a great teacher. It loves to show us our lessons in a different way than we learned in school. And in school you would prepare for the test. I think life kind of gives us the test and then asks us to derive the lesson from it. But life works the other way around. So separating yourself from the mistake or the failure that you went through is very important. You're not a failure just because you failed. It's a learning lesson. Speaking of learning, what did you learn from that situation? Life's trying to teach you something. What did you learn from it? What can you take from it? Be honest with yourself. Really sit with yourself and think. Within this process, what was something that I could take from it that's going to help me? What is the other side of the spectrum that I'm not looking at? I may be only looking at the bad side. But what is the good part in this? What did I learn? I think everybody deals with this, so I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But I think everybody thinks that they can be successful right off the bat. On their first try, whenever somebody shows them a new skill, they're like, I got this, don't worry about it. I'm gonna juggle 5 flaming axes the first try. I got this, don't worry. When I'm trying to learn something new, I don't think that I'm going to fail. I have the understanding or the impression that I'm going to be perfect on the first try. I'm never gonna get it wrong. And then when I get it wrong, I get frustrated as if that wasn't the reality. We're learning. You fail your way to success. That's a very important fact that I think a lot of us often overlook. I think having that perfectionist mindset, thinking that we can do everything perfect, and we hold ourselves to such a high standard that we don't allow ourselves to grow properly. You grow every single day throughout the process. All those little things add up into the end result. We always look at the end result and glorify the end result so much that the process isn't glorified, but it's within the process that we accept the prize. It's very hard to accept a prize you didn't deserve. For example, today it was the first day that I worked out in a long time. I honestly laughed at myself because I walked in the gym and I'm like, yeah, I got this. And understanding that I'm not where I want to be because I took time off isn't a bad thing. It's just being realistic. I have to go back to the grind and get to that stage where I was once before. For me to just walk in and think that I can conquer the territory that I haven't been in a long time is somewhat disrespectful to myself that worked hard in order to gain those achievements during that period of time when I was going religiously. And so falling in love with the process and understanding where you are, and you're able to evaluate yourself so that you're able to get back to where you were or even past or even start a new venture. Understanding that I'm new to this scene allows me to have a perspective of I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow. In order to face anything, you have to overcome obstacles. That's just how you get stronger. That's how your muscle adapts. Everybody that's successful has gone through obstacles. I think the glorification of the end result has had such a negative impact on our own psyche because that's all we see. Nobody glorifies or talks about their shortcomings or about the come up. And that's why I really appreciate Gary Vee, because he talks about if you want to be a creator and you're trying to create content, document instead of create. Talk about the process, talk about what you're going through. You will invite people along your journey and they will start understanding how much work and time it takes to put into order to get to the end result. You will fail your way to success. Be ready. One thing that's helpful is letting it all out. That frustration from the failure, that anger, that emotion that you feel, that pent up, don't hold it in. let it out. Find a healthy avenue, whether it's going to the gym, boxing, riding a bike. Finding a creative outlet in order to let all of that energy out is very helpful, and it's very healthy. If you want to try new food, you don't want to have a bad taste in your mouth from something that you didn't like. Try talking to a safe person, somebody that you find safe. You know that they're not going to judge you. This could be a professional, this could be somebody that you really trust and are really close with. Talk to them in order to get a new perspective and also to be grounded. I find talking to somebody else gives me the ability to think out loud. I'm able to shed all of my pent up frustration, and I'm able to lay that all out and organize it in a better way. Because sometimes when I'm thinking about everything that's going on, it's all in my head. I'm not very realistic about it, and it's not mapped out very clearly. So when I lay it all on the table, or when I just have like a vlog with myself and I'm just talking to myself, I'm able to really understand and put things into perspective. But the main point is let it out and let it go. One helpful thing throughout this letting go stage is to find people that are an inspiration to you. Many successful people have gone through what you're going through, and probably even worse. Using them as inspiration will allow you to understand that you're not alone in this journey, you're not alone in this process, that others have been through it and they got through it, so you can definitely get through it. Constantly fill your mind and yourself with positivity, because during this time, the first thing that tends to seek in a lot of the times is negativity, and negativity will eat you from the inside out. Be inspired, not just motivated, be inspired. Let it keep pushing you towards your purpose, because the job's not over. Yes, you may have failed, but the job's not done. You gotta keep working, you gotta get back on the horse. Just because you fell off didn't mean that your legs are broken and you can't get back on. You just hold yourself to that mindset. So break that mindset and get back on the horse. Move on and create a plan to move on and move forward. A lot of times you learn more from losing than you do from winning. Losing gives you an insight to how you can further develop yourself and grow. Personally, it's hard to see the good when you're only seeing bad around you. Understanding that these golden tokens will allow you to go to that chocolate factory eventually is the important part of playing the game. That's why you try to get the token in the first place, is to learn about new ins and outs, new insights, and new revelations that are revealed to you throughout this process. So really create a plan. Like, what is the plan? How are you going to move forward? How are you going to move past this? How are you going to go beyond? Now, once you have this plan, don't just let it sit there. Don't just let those thoughts creep in of, oh, you can't do it. Yeah, you have a plan, but like you messed up last time. What's the point of even trying? Do something small every day that gets you towards your goal. Doing something small and crossing out something on a list every day that gets you back into the flow of where you were, because oftentimes you were so consistent, you were so good, you were so passionate, and you were in the zone, but then something causes you to separate from the present. Go back into the present. Reward yourself at the same time. Be like, man, good job. Like, you're back in it. I'm really grateful that you didn't give up. Giving yourself support and being like, I got your back, telling yourself that, and even affirming that to yourself and letting yourself know that you're not alone and the journey's not over will really give you insight and really help you throughout this process. The journey is never easy. The climb is never easy. You will sweat, you will cry, you will bleed throughout this journey, but the top is worth it. You value the top so much more during the climb. During that climb, you're only seeking the top, but you don't realize your muscles are growing and getting bigger with each step. Your mind is evolving and expanding with each step. The important part is just to put one foot in front of the other and keep going, because you got this. Just keep climbing. So if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for more videos like this to help improve your mindset. Remember, the only way is up. Peace.